First, I'd like to thank the CARE Group for organizing themselves, for leading the charge for Measure K. So I'd like to thank you and everybody involved with it, because I know it took a whole army to do this, and it's quite a feat and a task to do. So I want to thank those and all the volunteers that put in their blood, sweat, and tears, as they say. You know, it's unfortunate that, you know, obviously ballots are still being counted at this time and it keeps inching closer and closer. But we'll just keep positive and hope that that 0.5 of a percent can, you know, we can yield that out of 13,000 votes that still need to be counted. You know, the bond measure was very important, and it was unique in the sense that everything that was going on during the same time. And it's unfortunate that we had so much politicalness behind this that the loss in focus, we lost the focus of students, of who it affected. I sit here and say, we need to look in the mirror and say, what are we doing on the school board if we don't support students? You have to look at that in true value and do that. I don't say this because it's a political speech or anything like that. You know, folks who said they were going to support it didn't support it. Community members who said they were going to support it didn't support it. You know, we had a group of Peralta people here, for example, who said, hey, if you don't pass this and you let it go, we'll support it 100%. Well, if you look at the numbers, they're very dismal in that area. So, am I calling people out? Absolutely. Because this is unfortunate. How can you look at students now in the eye and go, you know what? I did this for political reasons, not for the betterment of the student and the staff. And that's what is the frustrating point, what I've said from the very beginning, from the very outset. The politics on this board was bad last year. It was all for political reasons. It was trying to unseat two individuals who won re-election. And it was an ugly campaign. And it's even more discouraging that a lot of money went in effort to try to unseat two board members when that energy and money could have went focusing on students. But no, we can't do that. We can't be adults. We can't focus on what we need to do. And if you can't sit here and say you're going to serve on the school board for students, then I suggest you don't belong here. Yes, that's a bold statement, and I'm making it. So it's one of those to where we need to focus now on students. What are we going to do? How are we going to improve? The bond measures in Orange County passed, if you read. They passed overwhelmingly, except for the community college. So I sit here and I ask my colleagues, what are we going to do? Realistically, what are we going to do? Because we just shorted the kids all of this. I'm very surprised at the teachers' union leadership and how they got behind Ms. Singer and her pack to do all of this. Very, very surprised. I called the leadership, and I have yet to get a return phone call. So what does that tell me? It speaks volumes. I'm not sitting here trying to, you know, be the dad and, you know, scold anybody, but we need to take a true look at this and figure out what is it we're going to do? What are we going to accomplish as a school board for our students for next year and the following year? Now that we don't have any money to modernize our schools, whatever money we have now, we need to focus on putting that into our facilities because we don't have any other monies. What are we going to do? So we need to take a hard look at ourselves and see what we're going to do. And I know there's a lot of folks here to speak to this, and it's just unbelievable again that we are unable to focus on truly, you know, the students. It's not just a catchphrase, but it's a reality. These poor students lost, and that's sad. When you look at we're probably the only school district that's never passed a bond, our third time. So I say that with all sincerity. You know, I keep positive that those ballots that are being counted can inch a little closer and closer each day. But again, I want to truly thank the community who supported this. And kind of what was an amazement was I had heard some stories that some teachers weren't supporting this because they were told that money would be taken away from them. And I said, what are you talking about? That has nothing to do with it. Nothing. But it's all this rhetoric that's thrown out there. I really wish folks would have educated themselves on this and what it really would have done. It's not going to salaries, it's going to facilities, all the facilities, the high schools. So I asked the community, we're going to need your help. And I'm sure, hopeful that we can get your support in the future if we want to try this again. But it's going to be completely different. It's going to have to be different. So I'll leave you with that. And again, I want to thank you guys, Chris and Joe, for leading the charge, and your whole group and everybody. And again, please, sorry that I don't know anybody else's names, or I don't have a list of names, so I don't want to sell them short. So again, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, and I look forward. And us as a board, I think we really need to look internally and externally as how we're going to move forward collectively and in a positive way and stop this political fighting. This isn't what the students need to see. It's like grown adults fighting. Really? But it's gotten so ugly from the local to the federal level, and people, I think, are getting sick and tired of it, about the mudslinging. We're tired. So I leave you with that.